I passed a 50K Apex Trader funding trial today. I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks on how to do that. Keep it short and simple. Um, Before I get started, Apex Trader Funding is offering one of their best discounts in recent history: 80% off first month, 80% off each recurring month, half price resets, as well as $125 flat activation fee, and some of the all their larger accounts, 150K up, are the same price. Click below, use my affiliate link down below. This promotion ends Wednesday, 2/19. Now, I don't know if that means 2/19 tonight or 2/19 tomorrow, but check it out ASAP because it is ending if you want to take advantage of this promotion. Now, if you're coming here later, use my affiliate link to get the very best promotion that's offered. There's often promotions and things. This just seems like a very good one with 80% off the first, 80% off recurring, the half price resets. Again, that's one reason I'm talking about the tryouts right now. Don't always talk about tryouts. I also trade real money and do other things as well too. But so yeah, prop tryouts. We're talking about futures prop tryouts. First thing, got to keep them separated from your real money trading. Okay, real money trading, you want to be risk management. You want to be managing your risk. You want to be disciplined, or you can do financial damage. Well, with tryouts, you can do financial damage too, but it's a kind of a different game. It's a kind of a different thing. You're going to have a different kind of a mindset, right? If you trade scared and trade real money, like real money, you're not going to do so well. If you take some of the habits, some prop trading aggressive, trading besides over to real money, you can do tremendous financial damage. So put that warning out there, as well as you can reset too much. People do spend too much on these tryouts. You have to be disciplined, either with tryouts and with real money. Either way, right? I think you can do more damage with real money, but you can do damage either way. Now, the account I passed today was the 50K Apex trial, and this account is 2.5K risk with a 3K target. Now, again, if you think about this as real money, you say, "Oh, I had to return 100%." Get those thoughts out of your mind. It's nothing to do with return of a percentage. Okay, it's not that difficult. And not saying it's easy. It's not that easy either. It is difficult. And I've traded for studied markets for years and years. So it probably is that difficult. It's probably more difficult than you think. But in terms of returns, we don't think about it in terms of percent returns because you can do this on one trade. So the way I passed mine is I did one trade and then I scalped out the rest. Okay, and that's a pretty good strategy. Try to hit one trade and that one trade try to hit 85 to 95%. And then scalp out the rest. Okay, that's a great for these 50K accounts. A great strategy, pretty simple. On the 150Ks, I've struggled, and they're not real money either. But I think the reason is that you have, look at the math. This is 2.5K to hit 3K. These are 5K to hit 9K. So you got to do a 2x on these. Again, now if you were talking about real money, oh, you had to return 200%. You can return 200% in futures markets, right? This is not that. Okay, this is not that. It's basically you have to not. I really feel like you have to understand this is not real money trading, and because here's a different way of thinking about it. If you have a 2-to-1, if you can find a trade that does 2-to-1 that wins 50% of the time, okay, you can get funded on a 50K account in a couple trades. Okay, think about that, right? You have a 2-to-1, you risk 4K, you get 8K, okay, and if that trade wins 50% of the time, right, then that means you take 2 trades on it, you get past, with that and a few thousand scalps. Now, I do not have that 2-to-1 trade, okay, and I don't have that 2-to-1 trade right now. So how do you do this? And I came within. I've almost passed 3 of these. Okay, and without taking because I didn't take my advice. The key with these 150Ks is 1 trade per day and rotate. 1 trade per day and done. And the reason is because you're probably going to hit everyone knows the opportunities in the morning. As the day goes on, there's no opportunity to trade. There's people tend to get back. The market tends to be more random. People make mistakes. You get tired. So you're going to take your best trade or your best trades in the morning. And you're going to put up 4K, okay? And then you're going to rotate. You're going to either stop, quit trading, or you're going to rotate to another account. This is the way to pass. This is my strategy from having tried several and failed several. This is what I would do to pass as quickly as possible. I'll rotate to another account, and I'll trade it. Now the next day I come back, I'm going to be starting with 4 to 5K. Okay, this is my starting point, right? And so now here's the thing. Now I'm starting with a 5K drawdown, and a 4K target, okay? Or, it's always 5K drawdown because you have the trail, so it doesn't matter what you put up, right? It's always going to be, so it's going to be your 5K, assuming you didn't have a bad intra-trade drawdown. But, you're going to be starting with essentially a 5K drawdown with a 4K target. And now, look at it. Now, it's pretty similar to this, right? So that basically means that if you can hit one good day and stop, and it's very difficult to stop. You're doing well, and you got. That's why I say rotate, because people won't stop. You won't stop, and that's what I found. And I came within $500, and twice, because I wouldn't stop, and because you want to get it past in one day, and it's difficult to do that. So 5K and 4K, it's very similar to this. It's actually better, right? It's a little better. So if you hit that one good day, if you start your first day, if your first day is good, your second day, it's actually easier than passing the 50K. You go into the second day, you're actually in an easier place. But I would say, give this 3 days. The 150K is 3 days, and and that's to put up essentially 3 to 4K per day. It's really just one good trade. Now again, it's not. The second thing I'm going to say, again, hit your good trade, rotate to another account, shut that account down. Then tomorrow you start it in a better place than even the 50K accounts. That's how you pass them. That's my best strategy for passing the big ones. That's my current strategy, because when I try to pass it one day, I blow out. Now, if you can find a 2-to-1 trade and you can hold it, then you can just pass it one day. But I can't. I have trouble with that. I'm more scalping and things. So the second thing in terms of trading, don't try to learn how to trade. Right? Let's say this. Don't try to learn how to trade. Okay, because that's a undefined. That's a lifetime type of a task. Okay, you can learn you can try to learn how to trade. You can be learning how to trade forever, right? So that's not what we want. What you want to do? You want to find instead, learn how. I would say this: get one good setup, or learn how to take one good trade, one great trade, right? That's all you need to do to pass these trials. So you don't have to learn how to trade. You just have to learn how to not trade. You have to learn how to not trade, right? You have to learn how to not take bad trades. Learn how to take one good trade, one great trade, one opportunity a day, right? And take it at the right size so that you get paid for it. And don't immediately liquidate. And that's a little bit difficult, but that's basically it. One good setup. Now, one good setup is not going to be everything. I don't think that's everything that you're going to need, because markets change. They offer you different things at different types of days, different types of regimes, and you probably want to add to that. But if you take 5, like a 5 would be a really good place. But if you take 5, try to do 5 setups, which I've tried to do this, none of them are very well defined, right? So just take one. Okay, take one good. Find one good one, right? And I'm going to be sharing things in the future. I can't really speak too much about it now, but I'll be sharing some things that may help with some of these things, as I'm building the things and tools for my benefit that eventually I will be offering probably. But yeah, it's like find one good setup, take that setup, find one good trade, do it that way. Yeah, so you don't have to learn how to trade. You just have to learn how not to trade and learn how to take that one good trade. It's simple, right? It's very difficult, obviously. Then that's the thing is people will say, "Hey, this is how I did it," but they're not. You're not going to do that because they have years and years and years of experience. You're going to have to learn that stuff and make your own mistakes. But yeah. The other thing I would say is I have traded equities, but for futures, I've been historically an ES exclusive trader, okay? And if you're an ES exclusive trader like myself, and I doubt there's probably that many, but if you tend to gravitate to ES exclusively, you've got to look at some other markets. I got to say, for these trials and things, you got to look at some other markets. You got to look at NQ. Not that you can't do well in ES. I put up some really big profits today in ES. I wasn't even trading it really. It wasn't moving. I just seen the NQ moving and I just traded it. But yeah, there's opportunity in the NQ, right? That's the thing. And I'm not saying that the NQ is the only thing, but you want to be looking at a couple things so you can see what's moving, so you can see what opportunity is, right? So look at a couple things. Right now, I'm looking at ES and NQ, but I'll be, probably add one more to it. I don't recommend looking at a dozen things, right? I recommend looking at, well, I'm a tape reader, so that's part of it. Like if your setup goes across different markets, you could be completely different. You could be trading 5 different things. But for myself, I'm not going to be able to watch everything, right? So, and realistically, I want something that's going to, that's going to be worth looking at. And so, right now, ES and NQ is what I'm looking at. Now, Again, there's some other things I may add to it, but right now that's what I'm looking at. But adding the NQ was kind of a big, it was kind of a big step for me because I was like, I'll just trade ES. But I mean, this is probably simple and trivial for most of people that, if you're not a single market trader, it's like, okay, yeah, look at the NQ. But for someone who is a single market trader, it is kind of a big step to say, okay, look at something else. And that's one of the nice things about the tryouts is that you're not risking real money. You're not to try to trade the market you don't trade. So that's pretty much it, right? Find one good trade, rotate your accounts. If you trade the big ones, you keep your real money separate. Don't bring in bad habits from the props to your real money. Understand that the props is not real money, and that's how you're going to do well on them. That's my theory. Now I haven't reached a payout yet, so we'll see. But that's all I have for now. I hope it helps. And until next time.